There are places on Earth where aviation was never supposed to work. High on the Tibetan Plateau, at an astonishing 4,411 meters above sea level. Every breath feels thinner, and every flight becomes a battle against nature itself. You're standing so high above the planet that you're already approaching nearly half the altitude where commercial airliners normally cruise. In this extreme environment, even the simplest landing can become a test of precision, because the atmosphere offers far less support than pilots are used to. At this elevation, the odds are stacked against both machines and humans. Air pressure drops by roughly 40% compared to sea-level robbing aircraft of the lift they depend on, and forcing them to reach extraordinary speeds just to get airborne. For years, many experts believed that building a modern international airport under these conditions was simply unrealistic. Yet the challenge extended far beyond aviation. Before a single plane could arrive, engineers first had to conquer an unforgiving landscape where freezing winds and sub-zero temperatures threatened to turn every construction task into a nightmare. And somehow, against expectations, a futuristic structure emerged from the barren plateau. With an investment of around $250 million, China created a striking silver complex that resembles a spacecraft resting among the mountains. What was once an isolated stretch of rock became a critical gateway linking one of the world's most remote regions to the outside world. But the real story goes deeper than its dramatic appearance. Hidden beneath that gleaming dome are the engineering solutions that keep it operating through brutal Himalayan winters. How was it built in a place where nature seems determined to stop every project? And what technology allows this airport to survive, where many believed it never could? That's where the story becomes truly fascinating. To grasp why Daocheng Yading Airport became such a critical project, you first need to understand the landscape it was built to conquer. Deep in western Sichuan, beyond the towering ridges of the Hengduan Mountains, lies a region that for generations remained astonishingly difficult to reach. The nearest major gateway, Chengdu, sat roughly 800 kilometers away, but the distance on paper never reflected the reality of the journey. Reaching Daocheng was less like traveling and more like surviving an adventure through some of China's most unforgiving terrain. Drivers faced serpentine roads hanging above steep drop-offs, while landslide snowstorms and mountain passes rising beyond 5,000 meters constantly threatened to shut the route down. Even when conditions were favorable, the trip demanded at least 2 exhausting days. When nature turned hostile, entire routes could become impassable, leaving travelers cut off for days or sometimes even longer. But the consequences of that isolation stretched far beyond inconvenience. For many Tibetan communities across the Gars Autonomous Prefecture, limited transportation meant fewer opportunities, restricted access to medical services, educational resources, and broader economic growth. Despite its breathtaking beauty, the region remained disconnected from much of the development, transforming the rest of the country. China's Great Western Development Strategy required a breakthrough, yet conventional infrastructure offered no easy answer. Constructing a high-speed railway through these mountains would have required enormous investments. Years of construction and tunnels bored through unstable, frozen terrain at extreme elevations. Faced with obstacles that seemed almost impossible to overcome, planners arrived at a bold conclusion. If crossing the mountains wasn't practical, the only path forward was to fly above them. Constructing an airport at an elevation of 4,411 meters was never simply about pouring concrete and laying asphalt. It was an ambitious attempt to overcome one of nature's most formidable barriers. The mission was straightforward in theory, but extraordinary in practice. Transform a punishing 48-hour journey into a flight of roughly 1 hour, bringing one of the most isolated corners of the Himalayas closer to the heart of the modern economy. Yet before a single passenger could board an aircraft, engineers faced a daunting reality. They were being asked to build a world-class aviation hub in an environment where oxygen is scarce, temperatures are brutal, and even heavy construction equipment struggles to operate efficiently. What makes Daocheng Yading Airport so remarkable is that its greatest challenge cannot be seen. Beyond the mountains, the snow, and the harsh climate, the true obstacle is the air itself. In aviation, altitude often provides advantages once an aircraft is cruising, but an airport perched this high above sea level plays by a completely different set of rules. To understand why many experts considered such a project nearly impossible, you have to look at a factor that governs every flight: air density. High above the plateau, the atmosphere behaves very differently than it does at sea level, and every aircraft that arrives must contend with those invisible limitations. Near the ocean, dense air supplies wings with the lift they need, and engines with the oxygen required to generate power. At 4,411 meters, however, the atmosphere contains roughly 40% less density, fundamentally changing how aircraft perform. Jet engines, which rely on enormous volumes of incoming air, suddenly find themselves starved of the very resource they depend on. The result is a significant reduction in thrust, as though the aircraft is trying to sprint while struggling for breath. With less power available, acceleration becomes slower, and takeoff becomes far more demanding. To compensate, aircraft require substantially more runway to build enough speed for liftoff, turning what would be a routine departure elsewhere into a carefully calculated operation in the heart of the Himalayas. The most visible response to these extreme conditions is impossible to miss. Daocheng Yadang Airport features a runway stretching an astonishing 4,200 meters, making it one of the longest commercial runways in the world. At first glance, you might assume such a massive strip of pavement was built for giant aircraft like the Airbus A380. Surprisingly, it serves much smaller jets, including the Airbus A319 and Boeing 737. The reason is simple: at this altitude, physics demands a heavy price. With engines producing less thrust and wings generating less lift, every additional meter of runway becomes critical. Aircraft need far more distance to build enough speed for a safe departure. Yet getting airborne is only one part of the challenge. Landing presents an entirely different set of risks. In the thin mountain atmosphere, there is far less air resistance to naturally slow an aircraft during its approach. As a result, planes touch down at significantly higher ground speeds than they would at lower elevations. That extra speed places enormous stress on brakes, tires, and every system involved in bringing the aircraft to a stop. Pilots cannot rely on the forgiving margins available at many conventional airports. Every movement is carefully calculated, because even a small delay in braking performance or reverse thrust activation can quickly consume precious runway. To make matters even more complicated, aircraft operating here often face strict weight limitations. Carrying too much fuel cargo or too many passengers can reduce safety margins during takeoff, forcing airlines to leave seats empty despite having room on board. A jet designed for around 150 travelers may sometimes depart with substantially fewer people, simply to ensure it can safely clear the surrounding Himalayan terrain. The challenge extends beyond aircraft performance and into every aspect of airport construction. Before the first flight could arrive, engineers had to win a 2-year battle against one of the harshest environments on Earth. When construction began in 2011, crews encountered frozen ground, rugged granite formations, and permanent permafrost that resisted conventional building methods. Even the equipment struggled to survive. Machines designed for lower elevations lost a significant portion of their power because their engines could not draw enough oxygen from the thin atmosphere. To keep operations moving, specialized high-altitude machinery had to be deployed and modified to function efficiently in conditions that would overwhelm standard equipment. And just as engineers solved one problem, another emerged, perhaps the most difficult of all. The concrete itself became a major obstacle, setting the stage for the next engineering challenge in the creation of an airport that many believed could never exist. Creating a runway capable of handling aircraft weighing more than 100 tons was challenging enough. Doing it at 4,200 meters in the heart of the Tibetan Plateau pushed engineering into entirely different territory. The problem wasn't simply pouring concrete, it was keeping it alive long enough to harden. Temperatures could plunge below freezing even during summer nights, and if moisture inside the concrete crystallized too early, the entire structure could weaken before it was ever used. Engineers responded with a carefully engineered mixture of additives designed to resist freezing and accelerate curing, while enormous thermal blankets protected freshly poured sections from the relentless mountain cold. Every stage became a race against nature: pour, protect, and preserve before the Himalayan frost could erase months of progress. Yet the harshest challenge wasn't mechanical, it was human. At 4,411 meters above sea level, every breath delivers dramatically less oxygen than workers would receive at lower elevations. Fatigue arrived faster, headaches were common, and altitude sickness constantly threatened productivity and safety. To keep construction moving, an intensive rotation system was established, supported by around-the-clock medical teams stationed at the site. Portable oxygen supplies became standard equipment as essential as helmets or safety boots. Despite conditions that would have slowed many projects to a crawl, the pace remained astonishing. In fewer than 30 months, engineers reshaped rugged terrain, stabilized frozen ground, and completed one of the most ambitious airport projects ever attempted. By September 2013, what many considered impossible had become reality, demonstrating that even one of Earth's most inhospitable environments could be transformed through logistics planning and determination. The sense of disbelief continues when visitors first see the terminal itself. Emerging from the vast gray landscape is a gleaming circular structure, often compared to a futuristic spacecraft resting on the plateau. But its unusual appearance serves a purpose far beyond visual impact. Inspired in part by the traditional Tibetan kata scarf, the design blends cultural symbolism with practical engineering. At this altitude, even short walks can leave travelers exhausted as oxygen levels fall and heart rates climb. That is why the terminal was designed as a compact, centralized hub that minimizes unnecessary movement. Inside the building functions almost like a controlled life support environment. Advanced oxygen enrichment systems help create a more comfortable atmosphere, reducing the effective altitude experienced by passengers. Medical facilities and oxygen support stations are positioned throughout the terminal to assist anyone affected by sudden altitude-related symptoms. The interior also addresses another invisible threat: hypoxia-induced disorientation. Bright lighting, simplified navigation systems, bold visual markers, and expansive glass walls help travelers stay oriented while enjoying panoramic views of the surrounding peaks. Those massive windows are engineering achievements in their own right, filtering intense ultraviolet radiation while helping retain warmth inside the terminal. Every detail from the shape of the corridors to the composition of the air itself was designed to help people function comfortably in a place where nature constantly reminds them they are nearly touching the sky. Every surface of the terminal was engineered with a purpose. Its distinctive silver exterior is far more than an architectural statement. It acts as a sophisticated thermal barrier. During the day, the reflective skin helps deflect the intense mountain sunlight, while at night it works to retain heat against temperatures that can plunge dramatically after sunset. The entire structure operates as a carefully controlled ecosystem, maintaining stable oxygen levels, humidity, and temperature, even while the harsh conditions of the Tibetan Plateau rage just beyond its walls. In a place where the environment can quickly overwhelm the human body, the building serves as more than an airport terminal. It functions as a protective refuge designed around human survival. That same battle against altitude continues in the cockpit. Flying into Daocheng Yiding is considered a highly specialized operation that demands extensive training and certification. At this elevation, there is little room for mistakes because the thin atmosphere magnifies every challenge. Pilots often rely on supplemental oxygen during critical phases of flight to maintain peak concentration when every decision matters most. Operations are carefully scheduled, with many flights arriving and departing during the morning, when weather conditions tend to be more stable. As the day progresses, strong, Himalayan winds and rapidly changing conditions can make the approach significantly more demanding. Navigating these mountains is not simply a matter of following instruments. Crews must carefully manage routes through a landscape surrounded by peaks rising above 5,000 meters. Aircraft frequently operate below maximum capacity to preserve the performance needed to safely climb away from the terrain. Every successful arrival reflects a precise balance between advanced aviation technology and the skill of pilots operating in one of the world's most challenging environments. Yet perhaps the most fascinating question is whether this remarkable achievement comes at a cost. The airport, built with an investment of roughly $255 million, transformed access to a region once isolated by geography. What was formerly a 2-day journey can now be completed in about an hour, opening the door to tourism, business opportunities, and new sources of income for local Tibetan communities. Hotel services and related industries have expanded as visitors arrive in increasing numbers. At the same time, this new accessibility presents difficult challenges. The nearby Yading Nature Reserve, often celebrated for its untouched beauty and spiritual significance, now faces growing pressure from rising visitor numbers. Increased tourism places additional strain on local resources and introduces new concerns about preserving cultural traditions that have endured for centuries. Environmental questions also remain. Aviation activity at extreme altitudes carries its own impact, while continued infrastructure development risks altering landscapes that have remained largely undisturbed for generations. In many ways, Daocheng Yading Airport represents both a triumph of engineering and a reminder that every breakthrough reshapes the world around it sometimes in ways that are only understood years later. Yet the story of Daocheng Yading Airport is about more than engineering and aviation. By collapsing what was once a grueling 48-hour journey into a flight lasting roughly 1 hour, China achieved one of the central goals of its Great Western Development Strategy. Distance is no longer the barrier it once was, but that victory has created a new challenge. As access becomes easier and visitor numbers continue to rise, the region now faces a delicate balancing act between economic opportunity and preserving the unique character of the mountains that made it extraordinary in the first place. In many ways, the race to connect the Himalayas has evolved into a race to protect them. Far above the clouds, this airport has become something unexpected, a real-world testing ground for the future of high-altitude aviation. Every aircraft that lands here must operate in conditions that push both technology and human skill to their limits. The lessons learned on this remote plateau influence how engineers think about aircraft performance, airport design, and aviation in extreme environments. What began as a solution to an isolated transportation problem has grown into a showcase of what modern engineering can accomplish when confronted by seemingly impossible obstacles. The message is difficult to ignore. Many of the world's greatest barriers are no longer defined by geography, but by our willingness to solve the problems they present. As daylight fades across the Tibetan Plateau, the terminal's silver silhouette shines against a backdrop of towering Himalayan peaks, looking less like an airport and more like something imagined from the future. It stands as a symbol of a remarkable transformation, a place where thin air, frozen ground, and immense distance were no longer accepted as permanent limits. Daocheng Yading demonstrates how determination, technology, and vision can reshape even the most remote corners of the planet. Perched on the roof of the world, it serves as a powerful reminder that humanity is continually expanding the boundaries of where it can live, travel, and build. What was once considered unreachable has become reality, and the horizon of possibility continues to move farther than ever before.